Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time, reference 47450, 42 millimeters in stainless steel by approximately 12.5 millimeters thick. This is the Overseas Mark II, so to speak, the bigger, bolder, more contemporary iteration of the watch that's run from 2002 to the present. Specifically, we're looking at the Dual Time, a model that's been in production and been a staple of the Vacheron sporting lineup since 2006. Now we're going to put it on the wrist and we're going to talk a little bit about the history and the functions of this watch. I just reviewed the rose gold version a few days ago, so essentially what we're going to be focusing on here is the difference in look that comes with a silvered dial and stainless steel, alternately polished and brushed. Now on my wrist you can see the watch sits quite comfortably. My wrist is 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, and the fit is outstanding. Everything from the feel of the cushion style case on my wrist distributes its mass very nicely to the profile of the watch. You can see it sits nice and low from those angles, sits nice and low. To the quality of the finishing on the bracelet makes this very comfortable. Now Vacheron's bracelets aren't seen too often because you don't see too many Vacheron sports watches, but the bottom line is they feel great. Although primarily known for its dress and formal watches, Vacheron builds a bracelet that is second to none. You can see that not only is it aesthetically brilliant, incorporating the signature Vacheron Maltese cross motif into its links, but being alternately brushed on its tops, polished on its shoulders, and beveled on the intermediate surface. This watch is finished to the same standard as any Patek Philippe Nautilus or Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and very comfortable, pinching no skin and pulling no hair as a result. Now I want to talk a little bit about the bracelet because it's a highlight. Being a double deployant with a twin trigger, you can see the high polish speaks to the level of attention to detail lavished on this component. Anything but an afterthought. It's slick in the hand, seamless when closed, and with the twin trigger deployant, very secure. This is not going to pop open like a friction fit. Now on the wrist, the watch is also nicely balanced because of the presence of that bracelet. It sits low on the skin to begin with, and that's a great start when you're talking about wristwatch balance. Anything that's low has a small moment of inertia when it's strapped on. It's going to feel balanced, but all the more so when it's balanced out by a nice clasp and a full bracelet. And the bracelet is really gorgeous. By itself, it's worthy of a look at the photos on our website, Watch You Want. In high resolution, they reveal more details of the watch and its components than my iPhone ever can. Now on the dial, you see a continuation of that Maltese cross motif. First, you see the segments of the bezel, high polish in contrast to the brushing of the case, just outboard of a concave dished 60-minute track. The rehaut itself slopes downward from that Maltese cross-themed bezel to the dial, and the dial features a clou de Paris cross hatching etched into a silvered base color with full applied white gold indices and hands. And there is a slight oxidation treatment having been applied to the hands to assure legibility. It's featured on both the center hands as well as the subdial hands. So you don't have that typical legibility conundrum that sometimes befalls silver or white on white watches. Everything here is very much in the tradition of a sports watch. Legibility is first and foremost, but the elements themselves are never obtrusive. They don't contrast too much so as to overpower the elegance of the composition. Now, there are a couple of useful complications going on here, and I'm going to mention that the mechanics of this watch are inherited from Jaeger-LeCoultre, sometimes known as the watchmaker's watchmaker. It is an August engineering tradition, a neighbor of Vacheron Constantin, not too far to the east of Vacheron. Everyone's kind of close coupled in Switzerland, from the canton of Vaud, where JLC is based, to Geneva, where we find Vacheron. The essential movement is based on the 929 from the Master Geographic, but modified by Vacheron to exhibit the dual time properties shown here with a integrated screw-down pusher rather than the case-side dimple corrector used on the JLC. Instead of having the geographic ring, you have a second time zone with an AM/PM indicator at 6 o'clock. So now you can use this watch very versatile as the ultimate kind of sports travel reference. Having a reference time zone at 6 o'clock, you keep the local time on the center hands, and it has a 42-hour power reserve. Vacheron calls this the caliber 1222. So you can track the 42-hour power reserve on the supplied white gold, almost Nike swoosh style power reserve at 9 o'clock. Everything you need is here. And the watch is hardy, it's hale, it's everything you would want in a watch that essentially never comes off your wrist. Automatic winding. It also has remarkable water resistance. Now, I just showed the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Jumbo, which aesthetically comes from the same tradition of integrated bracelet stainless steel sports watch, but whereas that has 50-meter water resistance, this has 150-meter water resistance. And likewise, the standard Patek Philippe Nautilus falls just a bit short of this watch's water resistance rating. Vacheron goes one up by including a full solid case back. Now, the solid case back allows Vacheron to fit a full soft iron anti-magnetic Faraday cage to the JLC-based movement, which imparts a degree of resilience in the face of high-tech modern offices and homes where high-powered electronics, subwoofers, computer wiring looms could otherwise imperil the isochronism and precision of a traditional mechanical watch with its delicate metallic hairspring. And in order to add an element of style and flair and Geneva class to that solid caseback, Vacheron Constantin features the signature full-rigged overseas ship emblem, itself a bit of a tribute to Vacheron's long-standing love affair with the North American market. Now, from 1819, when Francois Constantin first journeyed to the New World to set up distributorship for Vacheron watches in the US and in Canada, there's always been a special relationship between Vacheron and the North American market, and that market really being the inspiration and the impetus to pursue the overseas lines in the mid to late 1990s when it got going. Vacheron pays tribute to this seminal moment in company history with the engraved impression of the square-rigged ship, and for my money, that sure beats staring at a soft iron Faraday cage. I like the use of the solid caseback and the romantic engraving that's included. This Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time is a 100% complete set, available from Watch You Want. All original boxes, technical manuals, documents of provenance, and accessories are included, and this is really a special boxed set because not only does the watch come with a gorgeous Vacheron leather-lined travel case with suede inner lining, but it also features the original nifty USB warranty e-card as well as a Vacheron Constantin polishing cloth. It's a very complete set and a very endearing complete set at that, absolutely becoming of a top-of-the-line sports reference like this Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time reference 47450. If all of the foregoing sounds good to you, I have no doubt this Vacheron Constantin Overseas Dual Time just may be the watch you want.